Coach, we just talked with Onsi, and I know you probably talked with all of them about this on Thursday as well, but just wanted your initial thoughts now with 7 new players over the course of, a month added? Just your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I try to think about it in perspective of like an NFL team. If you went to the bye week and you had however many, 53 players on the roster. I feel good about the guys that we have. You know, it's been fun to see a core group of, those 7 guys that have been here and were with us at the start of the year or whatever. The Aces and Jalen and Dyson and the way these guys have improved and developed and connected, and the guys that have joined us over the past couple weeks. Looking forward to integrating them, and I think the biggest thing for everybody, whether you've been here for a year, a month, or a day, is that we want to compete, and we want to compete collectively, and we want to be an unselfish group that puts the team first, and those are things we're going to keep working towards and emphasizing. And obviously, from a tactical X's and O's standpoint, there's always things that are challenging that we'll continue to tackle and get after it.
So looking at tonight, with the way Charlotte has been rebounding the ball lately, especially on the offensive end, just how important is it going to be to not give up any second chance opportunities?
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's not hard to know going into the game that's important. It's the execution in those situations, I think is the key. And Diabate, for example, is that he's elite in that regard. And I think this is a consistent message when we're talking about the possession game and defensive rebounding. Is it can't just be one guy. It can't just be one player. It's got to be something that collectively we're embracing. And I think actually when it does happen, the other part of that is can we get to the next play? Meaning, do you give up a 3? Do you get your spirit broken in a possession? So we know how important that is, and to me, it's a larger. The larger picture is just the possession game. It's defensive rebounding. It's taking care of the ball. It's us offensive rebounding. Where we can put ourselves in a position where we're not playing. We're not losing that game within the game. And as you mentioned, usually when you have an elite offensive rebounder, it allows all the other guys on the team that go to the bus to be more effective because that guy draws so much attention.
Coach, you talked about integrating all these new players. So I read this story about Jock basically driving from Memphis into Atlanta. When do you notify a player like that, oh, by the way, you'll probably be starting in your first game here with the team?
Well, we didn't know. His situation obviously is unique because we had players that hadn't played for some time, in that center position. And then we knew Onyeka was out. So whether he was going to start, come off the bench, whatever the case may be, we knew we needed help there in that situation. So I don't know if it was at a rest stop or the next morning. But I think one of the reasons, he knew that we were going to need him to get on the court and help us compete and was ready to do that. It's all when you look at bringing players into a new group, there's a limited amount of minutes. We had that situation before a number of these trades. You just can't play everybody. So in Jock's case, that situation was different, because of the fact even Onyeka was out. Mo and Ace have been scrapping it together. As we've gotten everybody now, there's actually more guys in the gym. So that's going to take some time for us to keep working through. Not everybody's going to be able to get in the game every night. We're going to have some players that are capable of helping, but there's only 48 minutes in the game, and that's why I mentioned again the importance of us competing collectively and everybody playing the way that we've played. I think some of the windows where we've been able to see, Jalen, Nikhil, and Dyson, and Yeka, and those lineups together, get you excited about where we're going. And as we bring these new guys in, just to continue to try to build on that, and everybody just needs to be real flexible as we, find more chemistry and evaluate lineups and try to figure out combinations that complement, one another and compete.
Coach, Charlotte is named the hardest team